what they say. Sometimes you're the windshield, other times you're the bug. Man, I hate being the bug. Hey everybody, Big Lost the Mad here, bringing you some World of Warships action. I'm going to start off here with the Tier 3 American destroyer, the Wicks. And this game was kind of a beater. Didn't know what to expect going into it. Never do, really. Sometimes you can look at the team lists at the beginning and you can tell, okay, well, this might happen and this might happen. This is probably going to be a loss, or it's going to be a close one, or we should win this one. You can tell sometimes how things might go. And yeah, this one, I had no idea. We're matched evenly on battleships. We're matched evenly on destroyers. I think they have the advantage when it comes to the cruisers, though. They've got one more St. Louis than what we had, and that kind of gives you an advantage on guns. The St. Louis is, I mean, it's made of guns. I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again and again and again and again. The St. Louis is made of guns. I mean, it's got 14 main battery guns, and they're pretty strong guns on top of that. So, we've sighted a few, to say the least, a few enemy ships. Closest one in range is the enemy Wicks. And we're going to go right in and we're going to back up this St. Louis. And that Wicks is putting torpedoes in the water all over the place trying to get that St. Louis, but he's not having any luck. And something's got us spotted, probably the Wicks. So we're going to put some torpedoes in the water, but it doesn't really matter. Somebody else finished the guy off, so I think that was one of our battleships. Claims the kill on the Wicks, so haven't done anything so far. All we've done is take a couple of hits from this enemy St. Louis. Well, we hit him with a couple of high explosive rounds there, and we're just going to keep doing what an American gunboat is supposed to do and keep pouring fire into him. St. Louis is the friendly St. Louis is delivering some punishment as well. As we try to get turned around here, we set him on fire, which is always nice. I'm going to try to get turned around here and get a torpedo launch lined up on him, and he's turning, so I'm going to fire these torpedoes a little bit ahead of him. They're not going to make it there. That's alright. We fire at him with the main guns. Take him out anyway. Finish him off. So, and there's an enemy battleship. Wyoming. A lot of big guns. Put a couple of high explosive shots out towards him. He's definitely got us spotted. And hit him with another one. Accuracy leaving a lot to be desired here. He launches a salvo at us and misses completely. Now we're in range of his secondaries. Put some torpedoes in the water and watch these torpedoes. This is just absolutely, spoiler alert. But yeah, this is just absolutely beautiful. We keep pouring the high explosive fire into him. He knocks out one of the main guns, but we quickly put the damage control team on that, and 5 of those torpedoes slam into the side of that Wyoming and send him to the bottom. So, alright, looking for our next victim. Okay, there's a Phoenix over there. And he doesn't seem to be moving very quickly. What's going on? Friendly South Carolina's found him. And he's putting shots across his bow. Some of them are hitting. I'm trying to get in range here. Doesn't look like he's moving. And he's definitely not firing his guns. So, we'll put a couple of shots out there at him. Only one of them hits. Something was just off about my accuracy in this game. Both of those missed. One went overshot him, and the other one fell short. That one hit one of his smokestacks. And it's about this time I noticed that, oh, hey, there's another destroyer over here. And it's an Isukaze. So we're going to exchange main battery fire here. And with the main batteries, we seem to be coming out just as poorly as he is. Most of these shots landing just short of the target or overshooting. There was a good one on his aft section there. Would have been nice to get a engine incapacitation, or at the very least knock out his steering, but here it comes. And yep, there it was. Couldn't quite get out of the way of that torpedo spread. So he got us. That's alright. 5 torpedo hits, 22 main gun hits, 2 kills. Well, let's see how the rest of the team's doing. There we go. There's a Kuma class cruiser. Just finished off that Russian destroyer. And now he's looking for the Isukaze. That Isukaze's on 3 kills, and he's the last thing on the enemy team. And there's the destroyers from the Russian. Or the torpedoes from the Russian, sorry. And well, those torpedoes certainly didn't come from the Russian. Those are from the Isukaze. And watch this Kuma. He reacts perfectly to these. Just sails right between them. He lays in a lot of fire. He seems to be having the same problem that we had. A lot of those shots just falling short or overshooting. That Isukaze, he's got some skills. He's good. He keeps changing his course and speed, making himself a very difficult target to hit. Not that destroyers are easy to hit in the first place. And Crazy here in the Kuma sees more torpedoes in the water, and watch how close this is. Gets past that one, and then this one just barely misses the bow. He keeps putting shots out there. There's a good volley. Scored some good damage. There's another one. And that was it. That one finishes him off. So that brought that one to a close. When we look at the statistics here, 62,000 credits, 1,211 experience. Very nice. Now that's doubled for first win of the day. Or not doubled, but 1.5 for first win of the day. And got a devastating strike as well. Placed 4th on the team, which isn't bad. 22 main gun hits for 4,000 damage, 1,600 for the fire, and 35,000 damage for those 5 torpedo hits on that poor son of a gun in the Wyoming. I don't feel bad for him at all. Let's move on to the next one. And here we are in the Tier 3 German cruiser, the Kolberg. And this gun is, or this ship is very reminiscent to me of the St. Louis, in that it is also packing a lot of very nice, very good damage, high rate of fire guns. And I do mean high rate of fire. The reload time on these is absolutely ridiculous. And the range, it definitely needs work. But you're going to see in this one that the range of the guns is not going to come into play at all. The range on these guns, as you can see there, is just shy of 9 kilometers. And you'd like that to be significantly more, but it's just not meant to be. So, getting started out on this one was a little bit slow, so we'll speed this one up and get it right to the action. So here we are. We come around the corner of the island, and that's not the first thing you want to see. We knew there was a destroyer and a cruiser over near the strait, but that destroyer keeps popping in and out of view. And that means we've got to split our attention now, because that destroyer is going to be dangerous, to say the least. But this Kawachi, if he were paying attention to us, could really lay on the hurt. He's not paying attention yet, but he's about to become very aware of our presence. We load up some high explosive for the start of this. Fire off the 4 forward guns. They fall just short of his aft section. Next volley, 2 of those have hit. He's knocked out the steering and one of the main guns, but we put the damage control party on that one. We turned broadside. Now, normally you don't want to turn broadside to a battleship, because that's just asking for trouble. And that Chikuma is going to become very interested in what's going on over here in a moment. We've hit him 14 times, 16 now, 18, and the hits just keep racking up. And we've also set him on fire. Now there it is. He's firing high explosive as well. And I think we're in the range of his secondaries. He set us on fire, completely knocked out one of the main guns, and knocked out the steering. Now, because of my commander in the Kolberg, I can still steer, but it's harder. It doesn't respond as well. And he's temporarily disabled one of our main guns again. Now, remember what I said earlier about the range of the guns not really being that much of an issue? Yeah. This is not the kind of engagement you want. We're getting pretty close to this Kawachi. And that little Russian destroyer over there is going to start causing some problems too. And the Samson. Luckily, we've got some backup. So, now we're getting really close. The fire is out. We've set the Kawachi on fire again. High explosive rounds are raining into the superstructure. Damage control party came up just in time to get the steering back up and put that fire out. And we are at point blank range against this guy. This Kawachi, it seemed like he had our number. The steering is knocked out again. One of the main guns knocked out. And we've got more than a minute before the damage control party comes off cooldown. Turn the ship around, get the other side on him, broadside him some more, finished him off. We've scored 81 hits on that Kawachi. Set him on fire 4 times. Now we need to watch out for that Russian. We're firing shots in his direction, but somebody gets him, finishes him off, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. We're on dangerously low health, and it looked there for a moment like everything was clear, but oh no, we forgot about the Chikuma. So we need to do something about him. Damage control party's got a little bit more than 30 seconds before it comes off cooldown. Steering is still damaged. It's working, but not very well. So we're trying. The Chikuma is maneuvering to try to avoid some of this fire, and we're doing pretty much the same. Just turning around in circles. But remember what I said too about these guns reloading very quickly. Well, you can see that here. There's about it's about almost 3.5 second reload time. Well, a little more than 3.5 second reload time on these guns, and that when you're firing them in succession like this, instead of all at once in a big volley, that makes all the difference. And we got hit with a little bit of friendly damage there, as we had a little bit of a collision with friendly destroyer. Now, thankfully, we're not going up against this Chikuma by ourselves. We've got one friendly destroyer, and that was a cruiser we ran into, actually. We've got 3 friendly cruisers over here. The Chikuma is knocked out, and now we can sit back and take a breath. It doesn't look like there's anybody on the enemy team that's anywhere near us. So we can now just sit comfortably in the cap, let somebody else worry about where the enemy ships are. Congratulate the team on a good game, and try to end this one. So, did not expect, first of all, to get into a point blank range duel with a Japanese battleship, which for all intents and purposes should have won. So we got very lucky there. Now, speaking of battleships, here comes an enemy South Carolina. Fortunately for us, it's too little too late. The only ship that he's got any shots on is our Tachibana, who left the cap circle and has provided a good distraction. And there it is. That's a nice action shot of us coming around between the islands there as we finish it off, and we win by capping. 46,500 credits, 959 experience. That's 1.5 times for the first win of the day. Top of the team, which is surprising but refreshing. 82 hits with high explosive and 15 with armor penetrating. Loads of damage. 12,500 with the fires. 11,000 damage from the high explosive, and 3,500 from the armor piercing. 81 of those hits on the Kawachi, and that was good finishing him off. So I hope you enjoyed those couple of replays. I'm not going to show you this one because at the beginning you saw how that ended. Uh, and that was pretty much it. There was not a lot of excitement going on in that battle. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and give this video a like. If you really like what you see here, go ahead and subscribe. That way you'll be sure to catch all of the World of Warships, World of Tanks, and Minecraft, odd combination, content that is going out every week. And be sure on Thursday to catch up with me and see what's going on in my part of the world on Talk Time, which again is just a placeholder name for it for now. Well, that's all I've got for this episode of World of Warships with Vic Lost the Mad. So until tomorrow, I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.